What's up, everyone? This is the Tin Man with the Resistance.
And I'm Lucid.
And this is part 2 of our roundtable discussion on Jade Helm. We kind of got on a little bit of a tangent. And we probably will again. We'll probably pick up right where we left off.
We're just waiting for people to pop on right now. In fact, I got my buddy on the line right now trying to get him on. So I'm going to step away from the camera for a moment, and I'll be right back.
And we're just going to wait for peeps to show up.
Okay,
we're already on, ready to go. So just waiting on everybody else. But just to recap a little bit, we discussed Jade Helm, how that whole damn thing works, what the government is possibly trying to do to manipulate us and push us into doing one thing. Basically the whole watch this hand while this hand works. Manipulating the people into action so that they can usher in martial law, their police state, and their new world order. And we got into aliens and the spiritual aspect and possibilities of the situation. And we got into the ideology of what if God and everything spiritual is nothing more than a governmental system, and everything spiritual is technology or science that we have not yet began to comprehend. Anyway, I'm just waiting for everybody to show up. Chilling out. At a table. As you can see, we have a table. Tables are awesome. So that's what's up. So I'm just going to sit tight for a few minutes. Check messages.
So, any viewers yet?
Not yet. Chris Wolf just asked me when do we start. Told him now. We've got one viewer. I do not know who that is, but whoever you are, feel free to get yourself in on the video chat.
Did you go to the Google Plus website yet?
It was probably him who just popped in and out. So we have one viewer, and then they disappeared.
Oh, Chris says that we've had one viewer, and just when they kind of in and out. Are you working with Metaphysical Plus? So did you click away from that website?
Yep. Oh, here's one viewer. Two viewers. We are on. We are just about ready to go. We cannot start this discussion without a party. Cannot have a roundtable discussion with myself.
Hey, Chris, send him another invite through Google Plus itself, please. Like from the broadcast.
Yeah, it's the same link.
No, I know,
always
but
be the
I
same
want
link.
it to pop up in his notifications. There's no notifications up there.
Okay.
Send him one more, please.
And right now I'm trying to add somebody to our chat. So please bear with us.
We had a call. Because we are actually broadcasting right now, it should pop up. you have to be a friend to get the notification. You have people that pop in and out. It's kind of a free for all if you.
Okay. His invite has been sent.
Okay, Chris sent you another invite.
Okay, we got 3 viewers so far, so whoever you are, go ahead and join the conversation. I'll bring up the little chat menu thing.
No notifications.
Topic is Jade Helm.
Tell me if Joseph pops up, bro.
I won't know if he pops up because
He's got to join the video chat, right?
he's got to join the video chat before I will know who they are.
Okay, so what happens? He clicks the link.
Joseph,
There we go. All right, I'm with you.
welcome, Joseph.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Basically,
Yeah.
basically, we're just waiting on everybody else to show up right now. Go ahead and move your camera up, bro, unless you don't want your face on camera. There you go.
What's up, man?
Not much. Just chilling.
Basically, what we're discussing, we're picking up where we left off with our last roundtable discussion that we had earlier.
But considering you're the only person on right now, we may as well start from scratch. Basically, what we're going over right now is what are your views and opinions on Jade Helm, whether or not it's been started in the past and it's just right now coming to light, so all people are like trying to become aware of it, so the mainstream media and the government are using it as a tool to watch this hand while I'm robbing you with this one. And if that's the case, what are we going to do when martial law becomes enacted, and what's our standpoint on all that?
Well, it's happened before, obviously, because it would be the 15th Jade Helm that they have.
Right.
On top of that, it's more or less, if you think about it, it's just sheep dipping the military to get them used to wearing civilian clothing so that they can watch and pay attention to what people are doing. Plus, I mean, people would freak out if somebody came and just stacked up on your front doorstep with fully automatic weapons.
And military uniforms.
Yeah, military uniforms, whereas if you just have individuals coming to your door and they're just clothed in regular clothing, nobody around you is really going to be, you know, not going to take that as awkward.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just getting the military used to it. It's getting the civilian population used to it. But, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, on top of that, you got to take in consideration during times of war or peace, under an executive order that was brought out, they can now take up all the food,
right,
and shut down all farming. So
now, what are your plans if martial law hits, and what are you going to do? I mean, we talked kind of privately and jokingly, saying we were going to take over a Walmart and a Home Depot, you know, and just start barricading ourselves in, you know, and then go robbing a gun and ammo store and kind of stocking up. But I mean, where's your standpoint? I mean, realistically, what are you going to do as far as, you know, if martial law hits? What are your views and opinions on what people can do to either avoid being killed or quarantined, or, you know, to survive? Okay, we have an issue because you're scrolling around on Facebook. You there, Joseph? Can you go back to the video, please?
You there? Oh, it's his audio. There's something going on his end.
Yeah, there was really no problem until you started clicking
Okay,
around.
hold on.
there we go.
Okay.
So what is you?
So anyway, to reiterate the question, what can people do? What are you going to do if martial law hits, and what can we do to protect ourselves? And what can civilians do to survive and not be quarantined or killed?
Well, the best thing you could do is just go down and start taking back your local state legislator if you want to stop it from happening. It's the only way to stop something like that from happening, because once they start rolling it out, you're not going to be able to stop it. You know,
Right.
I mean, we can all have an imaginary world where we just go and take over a Walmart or, so on and so forth. But unless a full-scale war has already happened, and there may be people that might resist, but the likelihood of them succeeding without taking out either all the power to the city that you're living in, and even then the military has backup generators, so that's not going to stop them. They can still do drone strikes, and when they do drone strikes, they can level at least 5, 6, 7,000 people in a group. So it'd be guerrilla warfare.
Right. Well, what my question more specifically was geared towards what can we do if martial law hits, not beforehand, not to prevent it, but rather if it hits and say it's enacted and shit goes down, what can we do to protect ourselves? I mean, I talked to you about how I was planning on just heading to the hills, and taking my family with me, building some shelter and, calling it a fucking day and just arming up. But what can civilians do realistically in these pretenses that martial law has been enacted?
Well, you would have to figure out who all has weapons around you, try to group them together, and you would have to fight back. That's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing it ends up becoming anyways, historically.
Agreed.
And just don't give your guns away. Or you're just going to have to do something illegal, like go outside of having a serial numbered gun, a registered gun.
But here's the thing that we talked about earlier as well. The fact that when martial law has been enacted under tyrannical means, the Constitution states, in fact, this is what Conspiracy Incorporated was saying. They said that he told us that, and I know this to be true because I've actually read the Constitution, but he said that we can basically, without persecution or without recourse on our end legally or any kind of other way when it comes to the government and all that and the rules and regulations and laws and whatnot, be held accountable for acts of war, because that's exactly what this is a war. So even if the resistance lost, anything that happened after the war was started, we are not held accountable for. So getting illegal guns and firing back to protect ourselves, even if we lost, would not get us in trouble for any means, because we're protected under the Constitution. Now, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that if a military starts taking over through the executive or the Congress or the Senate, it won't really make a difference, because you'll just be an enemy of the state. I mean, look at the Civil War. It's already happened.
Right. Hence the reason for my question there about the whole.
How did that happen?
What happened?
Somebody tried to call in.
Was that Curse Wolf?
Yeah, that would be Curse Wolf trying to patch in.
Okay.
Still there? Hello.
Oh, it's up. Sweet.
Yep.
All right, drummer should be here any second. I just dropped him the link.
Catch up.
Start playing with your toys, okay? Play with your toys.
All right, man. Hey, Tin Man, Lucid, your camera froze. Isn't it convenient as soon as I get on, the camera freezes and they go offline? And I seem to not have audio. It may be your technical glitch or my glitch. It's not my glitch. I don't know. Maybe, I really don't know. Okay, sound.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, it is. Hey, you guys hear me all right?
Yes,
All right,
Drummer, how are ya?
I'm just fucking testing something out right now. I'm on the move, but we're using a hotspot. So we're going to go for a hike, but I'm going to pop in later. I'm just making sure this works. I'll pop in later in a bit here, and we'll talk some shit.
Hell yeah.
Cool deal.
Hey, I want to apologize to everybody ahead of time, and it looks like we're doing this again.
I don't think so.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Okay.
Hear ya.
We've already been cock-blocked twice now, and this looks like it may possibly be the third time. So we apologize ahead of time for any interruptions during the broadcast. We will be back and forth because they seem to be cutting us out because nobody else in the house is having a problem with the Wi-Fi card or anything like that. My wife is online. My son is in the other room fucking around on the computer, and everybody's fine except for us because we are broadcasting about, you know, shit that has to do with government.
You guys got your tinfoil hats on, right?
Obviously, you can see
Well,
it.
fuck, you better throw that shit on and your fucking curse is protected. Look at that shit. No wonder you guys are getting targeted, you dumb fucks.
Of course we're targeted.
I tried to find some tinfoil in the house. It's like the only house I've ever been in that doesn't have fucking tinfoil. That's why I'm on the move right now. Paranoid as shit. Anyways, hopefully you guys get good. I don't know.
I think.
Did we get fucked? Did we get fucked? Looks like we might have got fucked.
I can hear you.
I can see you, Cursed. I can hear you. Who else is in here?
Oh, yeah. They got fucked again.
Yeah. Alright, boys. We'll just, I'll be on in a bit here. Probably like 10 minutes or so after we find a nice little spot.
All right, drummer man.
Alright, I'll see you later.
All right, dude. Well, I guess I'll start making my computer have fucking issues then. Like it just starts to fucking slowly do.
There we go.
There we go.
So go ahead.
Well, I was saying, why don't I start making my computer have issues? And it started having issues about the time that I said that. Because, like I said the last time I was here, I've been awake since I was 5 years old for this. To, let's say, on the human aspect of everything. I've been awake for 21 years, man. I'm only 27.
Yeah.
I see everything. Whenever I was, like I said last time, whenever I was a teenager, my guide, my voice that shows me things, it told me it begins in 2015 and it will end in 2025. I have no idea what it meant, but I assume that now it is the training of military personnel and the police personnel to become one unit against us at one time. And it starts with Jade Helm. That's a third of the United States, and they're going to move to the next third, and then to the next third, and then they're going to be able to have the police trained just as well as the military, and the police are going to be able to more or less kick the military's ass, because if you go by numbers, we're going to have more police officers than we're going to have soldiers, but the soldiers are going to be as equipped or equal to equipped as the police officers are. The soldiers and police officers are going to be equally equipped, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, I mean, you have to have an enforcer class for the elites. If you don't have an enforcer class, then they can't take control. But what a lot of people don't understand is that the enforcer class ends up getting abused in the end.
See, this little notebook right here, I actually started writing in it. When did I start writing in it? Oh, I actually put date and time in here. It was August. Hold on. It was 2007. Where I literally wrote down my, you know how people keep journals?
Yeah.
I literally did a very extremely censored autobiography in one night.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, I basically took the back page, the little cardboard back page.
Yeah.
And just wrote all over it, just random different shit. And it's just crazy, man. Just random shit that my brain has come up with over the years.
I think we lost the other two.
We may or may not have. They may be attempting to try to get back on.
Same thing happens to me on like YouTube. You know, when you try to type shit, it always gets erased when I try to type things on YouTube.
Have you checked out minds.com?
Not that I know of. What's that about?
Minds.com is the new social network site where they actually literally everybody there is awake is one of their things. Everybody there is constantly sharing information, and to me it's redundant information, because I heard about MK Ultra whenever I was 12 years old. I heard about
MK Ultra.
I've heard of, what's up guys, you're back. But yeah,
we're back
finally.
Yeah. I've been sitting here saying shit to make my camera fuck up, so I guess it made your camera come back on instead of my camera fuck up.
Yeah, we like I said before, and here we go again. It looks like
no.
Yeah, it's freezing up again, guys. Fuck.
Get that rage pill out there, Tin Man.
Man, I'm about to pull out a fucking
damn it!
grenade launcher.
Hey,
You should have seen me punching the shit out of this thing.
Hey, think about it. Abuse and curse out the system. It normally works.
I'm a freaking psychopath, and there's a 2-year-old laughing at me.
That just goes to show.
I could never be a terrorist. 2-year-olds don't even take me seriously.
What about Stewie?
All right, son, that's enough, please.
Go play your game, Bubba. So anyway, where do we
He
leave
was a
off?
crazy motherfucker, but he wasn't blind either.
All right, so anyway.
So how many niggers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Oh, just one.
12.
Just 12? I don't know how many it takes to screw in a light bulb, but I know how many we're going to use.
Yeah, about the time that this one started, I was actually watching the other Hangout.
Nice. Yeah, and just for the record, I am not racist. I have a color TV. And I hate everybody equally. And now I gotta have a cigarette because now I'm pissed the fuck off!
Anyway.
Well, scientifically, there is no such thing as race.
While Chris's ranting and raving is gone, let's get down to business here for a minute. Motherfucker can concentrate when he's going crazy. Anyway, Kirst, let Joseph in on some of the things that we talked about last time we were talking. I mean, we went into a bunch of different tangents, but the main thing we were talking about was Jade Helm, the martial law enactment, and our points of views and opinions on that. If you can reiterate your points, just real quick, give a broad overview of what you said last time so that Joseph could kind of catch up and we could kind of move on.
I kind of was in the process of that until y'all popped back on. I don't remember exactly where I was or exactly what I did not say, but I know for a fact I did not say the little bit about Nostradamus.
Okay, go for that. I have actually something that I wanted to add to that too, by the way, so as soon as you're done finishing up your Nostradamus bit, I got something to add to that.
Okay, so everybody knows Nostradamus, right? Everybody knows basically Nostradamus predicted the Twin Towers falling. He predicted Adolf Hitler. He predicted Napoleon Bonaparte. He predicted the atomic bomb. He predicted a lot of shit, more or less. Oh, dude, I like so want to shake your hand. Oh, man. We're crazy people. Yeah, but he basically stated Mavis would be the third Antichrist, where he called out Napoleon Bonaparte as the first Antichrist. He called out Adolf Hitler as the second Antichrist. Well, I'm not literally saying the Secretary of the Navy of Defense is the Mavis that he was talking about, but I will tell you a little tidbit of information that Mavis said in this little article that basically flips the words of Anonymous, the 1% and the 99%. Fleet gives us a chance to connect to the people who are doing the protecting, to the people who are being protected. So basically, it gives you time to interact with the people that are protecting your country for the bullshit that they would just want to illusion you with and all the other crap that we just fight terrorists because we made a makeshift terrorist here, so we're going to go destroy the city. But he continues with, these men and women are the true 1% that protects the other 99% of us. And as Lucid and Tin Man basically stated, 66% of their household has been in the military. And I like to add to that, 100% of my household wanted to be in the military. 66% of my household was actually in the Navy during peacetime. I personally wanted to be a sniper, but one, couldn't pass the physical if I kept my mouth shut about my mental issues.
Well, we've all got mental issues.
My addition to your Nostradamus thing was, it's not necessarily a prediction he made, but it was based on his knowledge, and this was Albert Einstein, I believe, who said this, was, I know not how World War II will be fought, but World War III, or I know not how World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Yes, because I actually believe that this World War should not be called World War III. It should be called the One World War, which is technically basically the entire populace trying to come under one world order, which is not what any of us want. Right. Just to make that clear. Just to make that clear. We either have no order or we have multiple order.
Right.
And what multiple order is what we have now.
Right. It's because we're based on multiple countries with multiple, different types of, whether it's a dictatorship or, a democracy, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Okay. We're still waiting for Connor to jump on. Have you heard anything from him, Curse?
Not today. I have not spoke with him at all today.
He was supposed to catch a flight earlier today. That's why we set up at 7 p.m. So it's like, come on, dude.
Well, anyway.
I set this up for you, fucker.
Anyway, well, I'm glad we got Joseph on the line, dude. He's got a lot of, like, serious, like, a lot of knowledge on this kind of shit, dude. And trust me, dude, I used to spend hours on the phone with this guy when I lived in San Bernardino. And, dude, we just go off on all kinds of crazy shit, dude, going on. And
I send both of y'all a link to things not allowed to be seen, so whenever y'all get time, y'all can look through it.
okay. Well, Joseph, there was a topic I brought up earlier that I was talking about with the NASA thing. You were telling me about how one of the people from NASA were saying that we have not even actually left our atmosphere because of that electromagnetic belt that's around the Earth. And that pretty much eliminates the fact that we've been to the moon, that we've even sent satellites up there. I mean,
yeah, they're still trying to get a. They're still trying to build equipment that can actually go through the electromagnetic belt that surrounds our planet, so that it can actually go further. But every time they try to send something past it, it always causes an electromagnetic malfunction, like an EMP almost, shutting down all their equipment. That's why a lot of our stuff comes crashing back down. There's only a certain point we can get to.
Sun's magnetic field.
Does anybody know? Oh, Drummer's back on. Does anybody know anything
Don't mind me.
about...
I'm just gonna spark this joint and listen to you guys for a bit.
Hell yeah, man. I'll be smoking later.
Yeah. You know what pisses me off, man? The one thing I didn't see coming with all my awesome gifts, I did not see fucking America legalizing this shit before Canada. Did not see that coming.
Yeah.
What I think is crazy is how Colorado, not only did they legalize marijuana, but they just passed a law to remove the fluoride out of their water.
No fucking shit, really? I didn't see that.
Yep.
1 second, guys. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go put my son down real quick, and Tin Man can hear you. He just can't see us. So go ahead and Tin Man actually has a question for you, Joseph. Here, I'm going to let people lay down. He wants to know about the electromagnetic belt.
I'm going to be outside smoking my cigarettes, so I'm turning the camera so that you guys can actually talk to me.
Well, I don't know like too much on it. I just ended up coming across a video, and I guess it went pretty viral after, because it was an accident. The guy that was actually doing the video wasn't actually supposed to say what he said. So.
No.
Now. So, is it electromagnetic field around the Earth?
Yeah, there's like it's almost like a radiation field, in a sense. Okay, so what it does is we have a certain point, and it's actually around the I believe the Orion belt, or some kind of garbage like that. But it surrounds our planet, so you can only go so far in the atmosphere of space. But once you hit that certain point, it just fries down all the electronics.
So did it explain what actually happened with Apollo 13, with them having to slingshot around the moon? Or did they never break out of the atmosphere, or whatever really happened there?
Well, it said basically, like, I mean, they didn't really even go into that point. It just went to the point that we haven't even been able to send anything past that magnetic field into space to even get to the moon. So.
They talk about like good shit on this.
I know there's a lot of speculation, like skeletons on the moon, shit like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also speculation about there being a building almost looking like a temple on the moon.
I've
actually, not on the moon. Sorry, on Mars. My apology.
I've seen that.
Actually,
yeah.
Mars is a trading station.
Yeah. What I think is even crazier is there's this thing called remote viewing, and the CIA actually did it until it was declassified, and then they shut their program down.
Explain that.
What was that?
Explain that.
Oh, explain remote viewing? What it basically deals with is you being able to connect with your subconscious. And when you can connect with your subconscious, you can actually see stuff in the future, past, or present.
Mr. Giggles.
And
You know what? What are you talking about, Joseph? That's kind of like form of astral projection, isn't it?
yes, exactly.
All right, I think everybody's about to get kicked off the air for talking classified shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's been declassified. It's in the public domain. The military actually took it over after the CIA backed out of it, because they had a congressional hearing about it.
Surprise, surprise. Bunch of rich fuckers making decisions without us.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Of course. I mean, a lot of the things that are really going on, honestly, is because of the fact that the United Nations.
So I don't get disconnected.
A lot of the things that are really going on is because the United Nations is trying to bring in their one world order. So everybody that's not adhering to their demands are basically having their governments overthrown. But yeah, remote viewing is actually pretty interesting, though, and it's actually done by one of the, like, I think it was one of the top CIA operatives.
And it actually has been proven to work.
Yeah, actually, they took the guy that trains people on this stuff now, because he's no longer part of the CIA. He took this one guy into another room, didn't tell him anything. They videotaped the whole thing, too. From before he showed up to even when he showed up. They put him in a separate room. The guy went into another room and started doing something with a picture in the newspaper. And when you actually do remote viewing, it's more or less based upon like drawings or just certain things that you see in your mind, and it can get put together. And that's why they have multiple people doing it. The more people you have doing it at the same time, the clearer the remote viewing actually starts to become. The same guy
of the Leonardo DiCaprio movie where everybody fell asleep, then everybody fell asleep, then everybody fell asleep, then everybody fell asleep, and they all did it to make this guy realize that he had to run his company without his dad.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is the remote viewing. That's controlled remote viewing. That's like spy tech and shit, because the technique itself, remote viewing, that's something that's used by, you know, self-proclaimed psychics or whatever. That falls into the category of taking an object that belongs to someone and being able to see where that object's been. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I totally believe that, yes, that is a practice that they are using, not only using, but have successfully, you know, figured out
and been able to do it without any of us knowing it.
Not even us knowing that, like, you know, send people out. They can literally see through people's eyes. You know, we don't know what technology they have. We don't know, like, as it's getting now in these days, that these alien declassifications, and, you know, there's getting more and more proof that we have this technology. Who's to say that they, you know, they're not looking through our eyes as we speak? You know what I mean?
So they want to see my dick.
That's what you're saying.
They'd be looking at my dick all the time. That's for sure. I purposely stare at my dick.
I mean, I'm sure they take pictures of you guys all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was at one point in time I actually thought there was a thinking device in my house because shit on TV just started to pop up. Like immediately after I thought about it, shit on TV started happening.
You have a smart TV?
No, I'm like saying like shit that I think of in my head, it suddenly happens on the TV show that I'm watching.
I get that too, dude. I get that too, but I take that as like confirmations from God, because I get that in books. I get that in more things than just TV, you know.
I'm just using TV as an example. I'm saying everyday daily life. I'm show things right before they happen and right after they happen.
And I fucking believe you, dude, because strange shit happens, man. It does. Look at this. I just want to show you guys the path I'm taking right now. Look at that.
Yeah, what are you doing exactly?
I'm on the move, man. I don't have a tinfoil hat, so I'm going to fucking walk.
There you go.
That's how I literally think myself as the Anonymous Collective, because I'm not part of the Anonymous Collective. I've literally awakened myself and have come to knowledge of everything that I have. I have just recently, literally February something of this year, I started becoming public with my knowledge.
You know what, man? I honestly believe that Anonymous is and this is just my opinion, of course, but I honestly believe Anonymous is an army of God. Because I fucking woke myself up too, man. I gave up all my shit. I mean, my friend right here can testify. He was living in the same town. You know, I lost my house, I lost everything, so I just got rid of the rest of my shit and I walked. And that's when I woke up, and fucking everything that tied into Anonymous is like what I was supposed to do. I got to the church. I mean, I made the video to Anonymous. I started working for a lady.
Just drove by my house.
No, I started working for a lady, and I met her son, and this whole time I'm looking for Anonymous mask, and then he has the masks, right? And then together we started this mask painting shit. And
Are you
so
guys
I
able to
believe
get
everyone.
masks up there still? The Anon masks?
Pardon?
Are you guys still able to get Guy Fawkes masks up there in Canada?
Yeah, although it's you know, we couldn't get almost 10 years jail time just for wearing them, so we make sure we're in big groups when we wear them.
Yeah, I've heard you say that on one of your videos.
Yeah, it's they're trying hard to quench it, and that's why I said Canada is shit too, but they're really good at keeping their shit secret. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
America, you guys are really on top of it, getting it out there or whatever, or maybe what they want you to get out there. Canada, you never know what's gonna fucking happen in Canada, man.
That is a good observation.
I actually heard in one of your videos, Drummer, that they've actually started martial law in Canada.
Bill C-51, yeah. It's not started. That's the bill that's going to implement it. And everyone, I got my mom with this too, because my mom put a Facebook post and she said, "Oh, the TELUS is calling me. Politicians are calling me. Isn't there any such thing as privacy anymore?" And I said, "Mom, if you're going to bitch about privacy, bitch about Bill C-51." She says, "Oh, that doesn't bother me." What? Do you know what that fucking bill is? And you know, it's the anti-terror bill or whatever. I said, "Mom, that bill is 60 pages long. You fucking read that thing." And I sent her a few links, and yeah, she changed her mind, because what that bill is, it gives Canadian Secret Intelligence Service, the CSIS, the ability to become their own police force, literally, to set up wiretaps, to arrest and everything without warrants, without detaining. Right now, oh fuck, that's a nice view. Look at that, boys.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
anyways, there's right now in Canada, it's already legal for police to come and detain you and grab you without just minimum suspicion. They don't need a warrant. I mean, if I'm walking on the street with a mask by myself, they could come grab me. And what this bill, it's going to lower that threshold even more. So not only can they detain us, they're going to arrest us based on no suspicion at all. And that's what it is. Like in America, you guys have these, you know, tanks and the military rolling up because everyone's aware of American military presence. Nobody's aware of Canadian military presence. We keep it hidden up in the Arctic.
Yeah, well, you're talking about basically that anti-terrorism bill. We got people on it too, which is
Exactly. But the thing is, oh shit, there's a deer over there. Sorry, ADD and shit. Anyways.
Like, oh my
Like, holy fuck, deer. Anyways.
Squirrel!
Like I said though, like in America, it's so much more public, right? You guys, it's so much more. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I'm not trying to sound rude to America or Americans, but it's like you guys, your history and stuff, right? Everything could be more public. Canada has this kind of illusion, I guess, of a really peaceful country, and it is a peaceful country, but we have so many things secret and hidden, and it's just, you know, you never know what's going to come, and it's the wool is pulled over their eyes so tightly that they can release things like Bill C-51 with the 60 pages, and within those 60 pages, literally everything that contains martial law, but no one's going to read it because they trust our government. You know what I'm saying? Because we've done such a damn good job of keeping everything nice up here. So when things turn to shit, no one's going to fucking suspect it, and, you know, it's just waiting. I think, honestly, it's just waiting for America, you know, the big brother to start it first, and then we're going to come in and, you know, then we're going to be like, okay, since there's so many fucking places to cross the border, you know, anyone across the border, they're going to say something like, okay, we have Americans fleeing to Canada, so we have to increase our military presence. But since Canada doesn't have military presence, we have to bring America into Canada. And that's when the annex is going to start. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard
Like I was saying earlier, Canada and America are two gay guys ready to rape a straight guy.
Exactly.
America's just got the big fat cock, and Canada's just holding the butt cheeks all over the going, okay, America, every day.
You guys are aware of the northern missile defense in Canada, aren't you? The missile
Oh yeah,
shield?
that's
I don't know too much
just
about
in
it.
case America gets
I know a
attacked.
little bit.
Well, basically, all around northern Canada, to protect from bombings coming through Canada to America, we have these missiles basically lining the border of the Arctic, all hidden and shit.
Yep,
And this was set up. Which fucking war was it? The Cold War, I think.
yep.
Yeah, and those are still active. You know.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
it's all about fucking. Like
As
we're.
soon as
It's not going to be Canada versus America. It's going to be America, then Canada follow suit, and then it's just going to be slowly come into one world power.
The North American Union.
Because we do have an army. We have tons of land that's hidden, and no one even fucking wants to look, you know?
Oh yeah, it's all in the tundra, dude.
It's like this right here. The people go walk through life like this. They don't see only what's in front of them, nothing else.
Exactly. They don't have their peripheral vision.
Right. They're walking around with blinders on.
Exactly. They can't see, and it's just fuck, man. Like to some, it's so obvious, right? Obviously, it's you know, it's so fucked up to think about, right? And Canada, I mean, American, you guys sometimes send your soldiers to Canada here for Arctic training. You guys send them to Cold Lake, Alberta. That's about 8 hours north of where I'm standing right now. And we send our soldiers to the actual Arctic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't have anybody in the actual Arctic where we are, because we can't have anybody knowing about our military presence that we have hidden up there.
Huh. New every day.
Well,
Jonathan, what do you got?
Joseph.
Or Joseph, sorry.
I might lose connection. I'm going deeper here, so if I pop off, I'm sorry. I'll be back on.
No
Alright.
problem. We're probably going to have that same problem throughout this broadcast. I mean, we've already had it 4 times already, so we understand.
It just goes to show how important our words really are. We're reaching people. They don't want us to reach people. They want us all nice and quiet so that they can fuck us. And I just can't shut up.
I want to hear what Joseph has to say. This guy's a smart guy.
Yeah, hell yeah, he is. Go for it, Joseph.
What do you got, buddy?
About what? Which one? It's covered quite a
Everything,
bit.
man.
Take the screw and level.
Which one pinches your nuts more? Which one pinches your nuts? Talk about that one.
Yeah, whatever subject you want to discuss. I mean, we're kind of in limbo here. We've already discussed the Jade Helm thing earlier. This is just a continuation for those who weren't able to broadcast earlier.
Well, I mean, legitimately, you have to understand that people that want to consider themselves a political class or elitist, they have to have an enforcer class. The situation is, though, is that eventually they start attacking one another. You know, that's why a lot of the times they end up falling apart. But you also have to take in consideration that, like I was just saying, the United Nations has to become a one-world government, so they eventually have to go in, they have to overthrow governments or have other governments attack other governments.
Yeah.
And until they can get everybody in line, it's not going to happen. But once all these countries give up their sovereignty to the United Nations, the real question people should be asking themselves is, where are you going to run?
Exactly. And that was my question to you earlier. What is everybody going to do once the shit hits the fan?
Well, here's a question. Think about this. I don't think this is something that anybody has ever really considered. They say that war is more profitable than peace. Well, if we have a one-world government, who are we going to go to war with?
Ourselves.
Just the people inside the states.
It'll be
Military
Oh, and we were talking earlier too.
2050, we're highly advanced and still be resistance fighters.
Oh yeah.
Well, my real question is why are we still on this planet? Why are we wasting time with these pointless wars over pointless dollars that really don't count or amount to anything?
Because we are blinded by the illusion that they have fed us because we are technically stuck. That is the illusion.
Not blinded. We are fucking stuck. And I learned something when I was walking, man. When I was walking, everything was fucking owned. And it's not just the illusion anymore. This is a world where it's almost impossible to survive without money, whether you like it or not. I mean, you have like awesome people like the Mountain Men or whatever. You know what? They're fucking making TV shows too, some of them, you know what I mean? There's not really many ways you can live without giving into this fucking system. So I think the only thing to do is really get in the system and then damage it from the inside.
Then again, you're really not going to get too many people awake anymore because the problem is people have been re-educated through TV and television. The only way to reverse that is to re-educate them again, but it would have to be in a better direction. But it's always a slippery slope either way.
Well, it has to be in the way that that person feels comfortable. That's the thing, and that's why when I make my videos, I don't focus on Christianity. I don't focus on any of that. I try to make it as open and general as possible because you have to help a person come into their own waking in their own ways. You can't, you know how people, we all do it, how we have a certain set of beliefs or an idea, and someone somehow threatens that idea. We're quick to defend ourselves, right? And so you gotta wake a person up while, you know, letting them wake up on their own. You guys gotta gently water that seed, and that's the really difficult part because a person, not even, we don't know how they wake up, and a person who's waking up is not going to know how they want to wake up.
Yeah, it's like Lucid always says, if he doesn't come out, wake me up in the morning, I'll never wake up.
You know,
Yeah, there was a subject that Curse Wolf was referring to earlier in the chat bar. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it was kind of geared towards Joseph. And let's get off here for a second, so I'll wait on my question for him when he comes back. But it basically was about turning the Bible into a blueprint for mass hysteria and control. Joseph is the one that generally is the one that kind of put that into perspective for me, and it seemed like it was a legit thing. But Wolf also said that it says you can't pull the wool over the eyes of the wolf that has been in clothing during their entire lives. A controlled rapture, and he also said 37 years, 38 days later, 9 to 15 is what he believes the world did, and basic instructions before leaving Earth. I like it. Yeah.
I am liking it. I'm just in a really weird spot.
I was asking you a question as you walked away, Joseph. We were talking earlier about how you were saying that the Bible is being used as a blueprint to cause mass hysteria and control. Maybe you could elaborate on that a bit. I could create words.
Who were you talking to?
That was you, Joseph.
Oh, me? What were you saying? The Bible?
Yeah, that the Bible is being used as a blueprint to generate control of mass hysteria.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, more or less, I would probably say that these people that are trying to enact this stuff are probably using the Bible as a blueprint to use that fear to.
That's exactly what it is.
But the issue is no matter what, it's just inevitable that it's still going to happen. And I think that they assume that they're going to be the ones that are going to be in power. But there are certain groups that understand that there is a being. Hold on one second.
I get what he's saying, though. I get what he's saying. And holy shit, that's right, you know. It's fuck, man. Like, fuck do you talk about this shit in normal words?
Normal is subjective, my friend.
And what is normal?
Yeah, we're definitely talking about the normal.
What is normal?
Yeah, normal is what they tell you, right? Well, yeah, I think what Joseph is saying though is he's getting to. So that's the point I was trying to make too. Is those groups that they believe they're the chosen ones, yes, and they're using the Bible as the blueprint, and they will, and they feel like they're going to be the new gods, and we make the earth in their image, and they're going to like use the exact lines to do that. But there are groups who know and believe that there is a higher power, a higher God, and maybe that God won't allow that to happen. Maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know. I don't know Joseph's religious views or beliefs, but I think that's what he's kind of getting at, and I feel that way too.
He worships the flying spaghetti monster, and we ate it.
No,
Dude, did you save me its balls?
It's part of one.
Chew it real slowly for me.
is that
Yeah.
turning you on?
Fan
Is
of
that
comics that I find.
That's weird.
Come on.
All I got is this little piece of grass here. I'm hungry.
I'm actually a fan of comics I find. This is actually a political cartoon. And it says, our closing prayer is for a visitor tonight who is gravely ill. And they actually have a shadow right here that says U.S. Society.
Oh. You've been popping up a lot of good cartoons, Curse, man. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you one. This is Pearls Before Swine. I really like Pearls Before Swine.
Didn't you show this up on part 1?
Yeah, I showed it, but I didn't actually talk about it.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay, go ahead and elaborate on that.
This one this comic, this side says, I'm starting to think I don't ever want to die. The other guy says, why is that? And the dude says, it's outside my comfort zone. So this one actually says, whenever he turns and looks at the guy, he says, never leave your comfort zone.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much what we were talking about earlier, getting outside the box, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
What box? I don't know why it's here. Who the fuck put it here? Alright, here's the last one. This is actually one that is my buddy who is in Florida right now on vacation until Christmas again. And myself. Alright? My buddy's the dude with the horn, and I'm the one without the horn. So basically it starts off, good lord, what now? I'm Papa's boy, the superhero who knows what is best for you. Superheroes have superpowers. I can inflate my head twice its normal size. A big head is not a superpower. Hush, I know what is best for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I call him my grandest student, and he calls me his grandest teacher.
Nice. And he does these political cartoons and whatnot?
No, he's actually my only comrade that I can actually talk to about anything.
Right.
Because he actually understands the things that I say. Because I don't know if he wants me to actually state this, as long as I don't state his name in any way, shape, or form. He has literally said to me, now this is where it becomes hard to grasp. Things about myself become hard to grasp. He has actually said he is from 10,000 generations. I did not say 10,000 years. I said 10,000 generations from the future. And in his time, the world is just fire and chaos, and there's no order, there's no laws, there's nothing. And he came back, and the only thing he was allowed to know was my hair.
Here's something you guys haven't seen in a long time.
So basically, that told me that I was there. He told me that I was the one that sent him back. He told me many things about his business.
Can't just stop on downhill like that, asshole.
What?
Sorry. I was talking to my buddy. He just fucking stopped like mid-hill. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, well, he stopped because he wanted you to get ahead of him so that he could push you down the hill.
No, he thought he saw a spider because he's pussy as fuck.
A spider?
Hey, man. Hey.
Dude,
He didn't want to step on it.
Dude, I
spiders.
sympathize with that guy right there, man. I'm scared shitless of spiders. I ain't scared of shit,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
But
Spiders are
spiders,
awesome.
dude, will make me turn gay, dude. I'm not kidding. I will jump up on the fucking table and pull my skirt up.
Ooh, that's check it out, boys. Don't know if you see it. Fucking snake. Where did it go?
Hold up. Put it back on.
He's in the bush now.
Oh, fucking sick.
No, that's big. Anyway, sorry, Curse. Though I did hear what you were talking about. Though
Hey, the snake
I
goes in the
sympathize, man. I fucking get shit like that, man. I get fucking shit.
Yeah, I know. I completely understand. But I just typed it. When I was a child, I woke up with a bad earache one time. Went to the hospital, and I remember hearing the doctor say, "I think I missed one," and a spider had laid eggs in my ear.
Nasty.
Oh,
That's
shit.
fucked
Is that
up,
like real?
man.
Like, for real. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I literally think that there's a spider living in my head at times, because it's kind of weird to explain, but I feel it.
Weird.
I feel a lot of things. Like if I
Weird.
told
I mean,
people that
the probability of that actually happening, dude, is pretty like
Pretty
unfathomable, dude. I mean, because no brain bug or animal would want to come back to its nest to nurture. So you would have to think that the spider that quote unquote laid eggs in your ear had to have come back several times to check. You know what I mean? So that's pretty fucking weird, man.
Bugs are having sex in his head.
got a big enough home.
Right?
Thanks, Colin. That's messed up. That's all I gotta say with that, man. That's fucked up.
But yeah, as I was saying, it's weird a lot of things that I say. Like, I can literally feel the blood move through my veins.
Wow.
And like I was typing before, about 46 and 2 are just ahead of me. Well, does anybody know what the meaning of 46 and 2 by total actually means?
Yeah, I have no idea. Hey, drummer,
It's
can you hear me
actually-
real quick? Hold on 1 second, Wolf. Can you hear me, drummer?
Yeah, I can hear you still.
Do me a favor, bro, and try to shield the mic from the wind. It's really hard to hear the people when the wind's blowing into it. I'm not trying to put you out there and be a dick or anything, but it's just kind of hard to hear.
Tell me.
There you are. You're a police officer.
That sounds way better, dude. Thank you.
I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you.
All right, go ahead, Wolf. I'm sorry.
I was making a joke on you, Lucid, because I wanted to make sure I said something that you are like directly on things not allowed to be seen, just as well as drummer is several times, just as well as A9 Exodus is once. Cops are bad. That's the video that's on things not allowed to be seen. Drummer has a mess load. Drummer has perception end times. Drummer has let's smoke a joint. Drummer has a handful of videos that are on things not allowed to be seen.
We didn't lose him. He logged off, I think, for...
Oh, there it is.
Hey, what happened, man?
I don't know. I couldn't hear. Like there was no volume or something.
Gotcha.
Well, if you would take that dick out of your ear, you'd be fine.
Oh, with that fucking headset, you don't got fucking good shit. I'm fucking walking in the fucking ravine. Look at this shit.
Yeah, if you turn off the fucking porn,
What the fuck's your problem?
hear what's going on.
Damn,
Yeah,
Joe.
so about 46 and 2 by Tool. It's the first video on things not allowed to be seen. It actually explains the idea. And the second video is the pros video, all the good things, all the flowery things, all the butterflies about being awakened. And the third video is basically a message to the awakened ones, and I've dubbed that the cons video, where it tells you all the bad things about being awakened. This is what happens once you realize you're awake and you see all this shit happening around you, and you start questioning it, and then you start researching it, and you find out that it's a crock of shit, and it's actually this.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
You trying to get it to switch on its own?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the whole thing that he's saying about that we haven't made it outside of our atmosphere. There's satellites up everywhere. There's the International Space Station. There's the Black Knight. Has anybody heard of the Black Knight?
Yes.
Did some reading on the Black Knight.
Yeah, Black Knight is like 3 years ago information for me that I researched.
Mm-hmm.
MK Ultra is like a decade old for me. Nantucket Project is about a decade to almost, yeah. This is all old research that I've researched and I've looked up and I've gathered all the information and I've compiled my own box of evidence that basically takes all these coincidences and makes it not a coincidence because there's too many of them.
Right.
Connections.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's funny, Curse, though, that fucking you said that about the videos, because I just fucking make the videos, man. I don't really plan it.
I understand that because you say that in Perception End Times, that you don't plan none of this. I mean, yeah, every now and then you have a piece of paper that you go by, but no, this just is basically a rant.
Hey, drummer, you have videos coming out lately?
What's up?
He asked if you have more videos coming out.
Yeah, you know what? I just got the YouTube thing. I have a new iPad now and everything, so I'm gonna start pumping out some more videos.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to need the account info so I can go in and do the final edit.
Well, I got a buddy here I met at work. He's a really cool fucking guy, but we're basically gonna go do some operations and stuff. We just gotta do some planning.
Okay, document that shit.
well, you know what I've always wondered is like, so this whole thing with Jade Helm, for instance, how they want people to work with the military and not see them as possibly a threat, but yet when they start getting killed in recruiting offices and people go down to protect them, just average citizens, they start calling the cops on them because the hierarchy of the military has basically let all the recruiting offices know that if they show up with any guns to protect them, that they need to be arrested.
Right. Which is ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it counteracts the idea of pitting the military against the citizens. Why would the military attack citizens when the citizens came to their fucking defense? One talking about citizens are the enemy.
A lot of because my wife used to live in Tennessee. In fact, she grew up there for the longest time, right down the street from where that shooting was taking place. And she said that a lot of her friends got arrested for that shit too.
Fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, countless times, all these shootings, whether it be supposed radicals or this psychotic lunatics, supposedly, that just randomly decide to shoot up places, it's always done in places where there's no guns allowed,
Right.
except for a small few, and they're probably under the assumption that there isn't guns allowed until they get shot to death.
There was a meme on fucking Facebook not too long ago. It said, "You want a guaranteed spot where people are going to shoot shit up? Put one of these signs up," and it said, "No guns allowed." It had the "No guns allowed" sign with the cross through it, all that shit. Yeah. So technically speaking, yeah, all those places where all these shootings are taking place, yeah, are where there's no guns allowed. I mean, schools. We got military recruiting offices, and probably in parking lots where they have different organizations that don't allow guns in the parking lot and their facilities and shit like that too. So, I mean, speak up.
There's like 7 of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of bucking there. But Joseph, I really wanted to hear what you had to say about before you left the first time. You're talking about the Bible and the blueprint.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, more or less, it just seems to me like these people that are in positions that want to be even more powerful, they're trying to just unite all these countries together, but I believe that they're just using the blueprint of the Bible, trying to bring about these wars or just these different things to unite people and think that they're going to sit there and help and protect them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's coming together pretty good. Like, it hasn't stopped. Nothing has stopped this from happening.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? No matter how many people start waking up, it's not gonna end their rollout.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
And like we were discussing earlier too, Drummer, and Joseph, for that matter too. Joseph, you weren't here for it, but Drummer will remember this. We were talking about the 13 families and how why, and actually Tin Man brought it up. He was like, why hasn't somebody fucking off these 13 families? Well, I kind of have an answer to that, and that is because offing one of the people is not going to change anything. I mean, if you think about it, there's always going to be someone to hoist the torch after that. You know what I mean? 13 bullets, you couldn't fucking solve our problems, dude. It's probably going to be 13 million bullets and then some. And that's only if you kill the idea, because you're not trying to kill the people. You're trying to kill the idea of this one world government and this, you know, police state. You know what I mean? And that's basically where we're at as far as that goes.
An idea hacking that, and you know what that happens. Holy fuck.
Well, you can't kill the idea of a one-world government because people believe that if you unite everybody, there's no war.
Right.
But what they don't understand is when you unite everybody, there will be war because those who don't want to do what they're told will just get rolled over by tanks or whatever.
Right. And that therein lies our problem. There's these people that think that a one-world government is going to stop war, like you said, and then there's going to be people who oppose that idea, and at which point there's always going to be two sides to the coin, no matter how you look at it. But on the same token, too, killing somebody is not killing the idea. The person who may or may not have the funds or the means to start that idea, and there's always going to be someone to carry the torch afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So you would literally have to brainwash the people for hundreds of years before that idea got wiped clean from their heads. And we're talking generations and generations of people before this idea is no longer existent. And nobody would ever be thinking about it again, because the only way you're going to get rid of the idea of a one-world government is by killing the idea, not the people who are for it. Because even though these people are the front line, the 13 families are the front line, the governments are the front line, no matter how you look at it, there's still civilians that believe in this shit too. And they're scattered throughout the world, and that are pro-New World Order. And it just because you kill these families off or you overthrow the government isn't going to stop the idea. The idea is still going to be there.
It's more along the lines, like if you kill these people that have the wealth to enact this, it just slows the process down. But the process will still happen eventually. It's just how long can you prolong it for?
Right, exactly. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a fucking on an arm that's been cut off, dude. I mean, it's going to slow it down maybe a little bit, but it's not going to stop it from bleeding. You got to cauterize that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Comes down to it. There's an existence on both. You know, you don't want to go kill anybody because fucking you just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're cutting out on my end. I don't know if anybody else heard you.
The problem is martyr. Martyrs go on both sides of the coins.
Right.
Go killing people. They're just gonna band together with that idea.
Right.
There's no way unless the only way is the way we're doing it. You know, with unconditional love and showing them that love is this. You don't need war. You don't need divisions. We don't need religion. The only thing we need is love between us. Is the belief, and it's, you know, the Vatican wants to unite faith. They want to unite one faith, but, you know, what we should do is unite through faith. And faith could be anything. You could be atheist. Atheism is a faith, if you like it or not. You know, if you believe in something, that's a faith. Believing in nothing, believing in something.
Great.
You know?
Exactly. Believing in nothing is still believing in something, no matter how you look at it.
Exactly.
This is what I think is going to happen. They're going to try to push for this martial law scenario. The military is already beginning to wake up just like the rest of us. That's why they're trying to push for automated systems and a robot-based military.
Questions without conscience. I mean, order or
yeah, they're talking about taking off Iron Man because it's so similar to reality.
Yeah. But think about it. If they actually implement AI as military, it's not going to be like a Terminator scenario at some point. This system's going to go fucking haywire for whatever reason and decide that all human beings are a threat to its existence and just wipe everybody out. Like
So close to AI, though. What? Fucking put it in a drone. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
we're already so close to just robots fighting our fucking wars for us, and it's just.
Yeah, but this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to do this. It's going to blow up in their faces, and that's what's going to kill the New World Order agenda. Their own idea is going to blow up in their face, and it's going to turn on them. At which point, the idea is dead because everybody's too busy trying to survive because something else has taken humanity's place at the top of the food chain.
My thing is behind the whole, martial law thing is that people have conscience. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
and when we discussed this in the last weekly report, everybody knows right from wrong, no matter how you look at it, how you look at things. I mean, the most basic of creature on the face of the planet knows right from wrong. And you're going to have those in the military who, on one side of the coin, are going to turn on the government because they don't agree with what the government's doing. They have conscience. They don't want to hurt civilians for no reason. Then you're going to have other military personnel on the other side of the coin that are going to be like, fuck, it's a paycheck, I'm doing it.
Okay,
I'm just doing my job. How many people have said that in the Nazi regime?
Yeah.
Let me add one thing, and let me see what you say. Okay, we add all that, but let's not forget about distraction. How much are we gonna fall for distraction? All this shit happening, we're still worrying about flags. We're still worrying about this and that. How long will they be able to keep the distraction up long enough? Will it be to the point where the military does rebel, but we're so blinded by mainstream or whatever that we don't even pay attention, and then we miss our window? What do you think about that?
I don't think that's going to happen because even the general population is starting to pick up on these false flags and these illusions. You see the memes all the time when something happens. It's like, oh, there was an Ebola outbreak. What bill are they going to pass in secret this time?
But will it be enough?
People are aware of what the fuck's going on. They know how the game's fucking playing.
Will it be enough? Because if we look in our time right now, in our present moment, we can see, yes, that the general population is waking up, but we can also see that, no, they're not. You know what I mean? We can also see that there are major things happening, and we're looking at it, we're seeing it, but we're not doing anything about it. And doing something doesn't mean just going on. It means actually thinking about it, actually processing it. Will we be able to do that in time before all this shit happens?
Yeah.
Wolf brought up a good point here. He said one of the people killed in the killings on the day that Jade Helm began was already dead. That person was already dead. So,
in 2002 in an Iraqi bombing, nonetheless.
Right. So he wasn't even present. even if you wanted to say that the numbers were fucked up on the date, he wasn't even in the United States at the time.
Yeah.
So there we have it. I mean, like we said earlier, the magician's trick. Watch this hand while this one fingers you in the ass. You know?
So which is it? Is it the thumb in the bum or the pinky in the stinky?
That would depend on missionary or doggy style.
That would depend on how sleep you actually are.
Yeah, you can probably get away with the pinky in the stinky.
It's interesting. Is that what Jade Helm is, though? Is that, are we really worried about Jade Helm? Is that actually going to happen, or is it just,
It's already happening.
Exactly.
Jade Helm has already been implemented, and they're doing these training ops already.
But that's fairly open. Like, we can see that easily. What if that's exactly what they want us to see?
Of course.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. I'm sitting here contemplating that they want to see Jade Helm, that they want to awaken what they can do. They want to see that the awakened sees the enemy preparing for what will come. Because the thing is that the point of return is not very far from us. I have reason to believe that the point of return happens sometime in 2018.
Yeah, it's all going to come to a head 2017, 2018. And as you said before, I think it's all going to come to the final conclusion and be done and over with by 2025. I think maybe the New World Order is going to get bitch slapped to the point where they're going to have to take several thousand steps back and then gradually work their way up again. And then by 2050, they'll have their AI technology to the point where they can actually execute this plan without any interference by way of drones that are only going to follow orders, and that system in itself is going to blow up in their face.
Well, we're missing another element here as well. Just the whole wake up. We're missing the fact that the Vatican is also calling for the one faith, one order, and that's the church right there. We have not, you know, everyone is like us, where we have these beliefs, but we're open. They're completely obedient to the church. So, and that's a large population. So, you know, how can it happen?
Well, that can relate back to Revelations as well. In Revelations, it talks about how when the Antichrist comes to power, there will be a war against the saints. Now think about this. If you've got a one-world religion trying to implement Christianity with the Muslims and every other group, you've got... Yeah, check this out. You got mainstream Christianity that merges with the Muslim faith and everybody else. However, you've got the LDS, the Mormons, who Christianity cannot stand. And the Mormons themselves profess to be the one true church, that all other creeds are an abomination in the sight of God. That's as per their belief. Now, if that ideology stands at the point of unification of religion, odds are the LDS would opt out, at which point you are going to have the one world religion versus the Latter-day Saints. The Antichrist goes to war against the saints.
And aren't they already in talks with the Muslim religion and the Catholic religion to become like one single religion already?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So it kind of makes you think.
It does.
Yeah. Not to say that LDS is or is not the one true faith, but it does say in the Bible that it does say in the Bible that the Antichrist in the world will go to war against the saints. And what is the Mormon Church officially named? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's interesting little conundrum there.
It's very interesting.
At which point, if that's the case too, we're talking about the New World Order and the one world government, and then we're also talking about the one world religion as well. So you're combining politics and religion, which always ends in bloody fucking massacre.
Well, yeah, that's how it's always been. Back in the Old Testament, it was the church that ran Israel. In the Roman Catholic days, and even in the English Catholic faith, before the separation of church and state and all that shit, the Catholic Church was the figurehead of the government. They were, for all intents and purposes, the governing force. The church was the final boss. So it's not surprising that that would happen.
It pretty much still is.
Oh yeah. I mean, at least they'd like to think they are. That's probably why those priests molest little boys. Get a sense of their power back, because they lost so much ground and so much power.
Well,
they're missing that power, so they take it out on altar boys.
You know, we can't. Every church, every religion has its shit. Like I mentioned to you a long time ago, if you've heard of Bountiful in BC, and that's just a place for, you know, Warren Jeffs and all this, and they totally abused and the faith of the Mormon people. And you know, I haven't studied too much, but I'm pretty sure the polygamy is supposed to be mutual. And it's supposed to be, Connor was talking to me about this. But what Warren Jeffs and the stuff, they pretty much had who's the true prophet. And their marriage had, like, using it. You know,
Yeah, a lot of people think that the church still practices polygamy or that it was just this big control thing. What it really comes down to is facing the reality that the church abolished the practice of polygamy in the 1890s. That's done and over with. They haven't practiced it
Hunter
since.
was telling me, but this place, they still practice. They practiced it right up to like 1950. They didn't acknowledge
Groups like FLDS who still practice it.
Well, exactly, but that's, you know, the point isn't, you know, the church is bad. The point I'm making is, in every church, there's people who abuse the faith of people who abuse that obedience.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's
and there will probably be, just like there's arguments now among Mormon church of polygamy or not, you know, there will probably be some LDS that join in with that new faith.
Oh, probably. You know, there's a lot of people who like the idea. Me personally, I can't fathom the idea of marrying more than one woman. It's hard enough to keep one woman happy. I don't want to take on more than one. I mean, like, I don't want to have like 6 or 20 or any of that. It's like I got to keep 20 women happy. I got to kiss 20 women's asses. I got to fuck 20 women on a regular basis.
But I believe that
that's a lot of work.
So that rejects that, you know what I mean?
My bed ain't big enough.
Every church, though, will have groups that, every religion will have groups that reject that idea.
Oh, yeah.
I think the real issue isn't really that, but it's more or less the fact that Freemasonry is infiltrated a lot of the religious organizations through giving them esoteric knowledge. And I believe that that's one of the biggest issues.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about that. As far as most range of religions are concerned, if you subscribe to Freemasonry, you are excommunicated. That's a big thing in the Catholic Church especially. And granted, the LDS, a lot of the early members and founders of the church were also Freemasons. Today, the church is not anywhere near as active in Freemasonry. In fact, we have no general authorities or anything who are actively participants in Freemasonry. That's not to say that there aren't members of the church who are active Freemasons. It's just, it's not an intricate part.
Well, it's just like the Rosicrucians. Okay, they don't have to tell you the truth. They'll just lie to you, get you to believe whatever they want, whatever you want to believe.
That's the reason I do not attend church. I don't believe one man can tell me what my faith means to me or what the Bible means to me. My faith, my church, my Bible all lie within me.
Yeah.
Personally, and I don't subscribe to the religious, the organized religion bullshit.
And as far as facts are concerned, facts are easily researched and found out. So-and-so can tell you one thing, but if you go online, you can find out whether it's fact or fiction. Easy. I mean, I've been on the internet for 3 fucking months, and I did a vast majority of research for my book on how to defend the church.
That big ass
on my phone and using other computers. I got that shit done, even though I didn't have internet. I got access to the internet in other ways and was able to find information. I just type it in, boom, boom, boom. Found what I was looking for. Found the answers that I was looking for. If I got a question, type it in, boom, boom, boom.
I know. I kind of popped in around the time that both of y'all went off air. Y'all transmissions went dark for like the longest. I popped on right before y'all lost and right in the middle.
Yeah, I know. And then you and I would be talking back and forth via my cell phone when I'm able to get Wi-Fi hotspots. Granted, we went dark, but I didn't drop off the face of the earth.
Yeah, we tried to stay connected the best way we could as far as that shit goes. But, you know, no matter having all the
Hey, drummer, we have a wind issue. Drummer, we have a wind issue.
Sorry, man. Windy out. We're gonna.
It's all good, man.
We're gonna get back in the car right away here. Is
Cool.
that better?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
way
you.
better.
Not trying to be a dick, but kind of hard to have a conversation with the wind.
No, I feel you, man. Sorry about it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, the reason why it's hard to have a conversation with the wind because all it does is blow.
Hey, Lucid,
Yo, what's up, man?
since you're a better reader than I am, since I seem to stumble over words that I even think of as I speak them, anything that was highlighted that you actually wanted to point out that I've typed, you can actually say if you want to.
Okay. To answer your question, what was the guy's name in Terminator 4 that gave his heart to John Connor? That was Marcus Wright.
Yes, that guy right there has been so nowhere to be found.
What, that guy in real life?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, I heard
Because
something about
technically,
that, like, completely-
technically we're about 15 years before John Connor actually needs his heart.
Yeah.
Well, I think the real issue is that people assume that we're dealing with trying to create AI efficiency. The real thing is that a lot of the technology that we have right now, we've already created at least 15 to 20 years ago.
Hey, I'll
What
be
we
right
really
back.
should be.
No
problem.
That we are at least 35 to 40 years off from reaching the level AI that has been depicted in films.
What expert told you that?
Artificial intelligence
I
is
don't know who told you that either, because whenever the original Tron movie came out, do you remember that big-ass computer desk? That was an AI right there.
yeah.
The real thing is that we're dealing with people now that want to transcend AI and become the intelligence without a body.
Put
So
their brain into a computer.
yeah, so you don't even have to deal with AI. You're dealing with people that don't even like human beings to begin with, don't even like being human. They want to transcend their body, transcend their weakness, and become powerful without human flesh. See what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if you ever heard this story, Joseph, but a few years ago, I was contacted by a terrorist recruiter who actually claimed he was LDS. He wanted me to go to New Mexico. He wanted me to fly out to New Mexico, pick up a package, and put it under a bus. The package was a bomb. And I refused. But what he offered me was, first he offered me money, and then he offered me the option of putting my brain into a computer so I could live forever. Because I told him, I'm like, even if there was no amount of money you could fucking pay me, because the second I do this, they're going to arrest my ass and put me in front of a firing squad in Guantanamo Bay. And he's like, yeah, and when you die, we will take your brain out of your body and put it into a computer and you will live forever. I'm like, you know what? That's not a very good sell. Go fuck yourself. You know, not that I would ever blow anything up in the first place, but still, it was...
It'll give you more of incentive than that.
Yeah, it was still interesting to hear what his bargaining chip was. And I just had to laugh. I'm like, dude, if that's the best sales pitch you got, get to stepping.
And the craziest thing about this whole thing is that he actually showed me the emails that were sent back and forth between him and this guy, and it's legit. It's legit. It was funny.
Yeah, this guy contacted me on Skype. I don't know how the fuck he got my information. He contacted me on Skype. He knew about me and Louise, because this was around the time that Louise and I were seeing each other.
Probably the NSA.
Yeah, and it was like, what the fuck? It was insane. I was like, and first of all, if this guy professed to be a Latter-day Saint and he's promoting terrorist activity, it's like, dude, you don't know what the church is all about. Fuck you. You go to hell, you go to hell and you die. I got time for that bullshit, Mr. Postman.
Well, a lot of the big issue is a lot of religions are starting to turn to false idols within their own church. You know, whatever church or religious organizations they're going through.
Catholics
know.
have been doing it for years. I mean, they pray to Mother Mary and
Yeah.
her statue that is
And their
standing.
saints.
And you have to confess to a priest rather than pray to Jesus, which Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Nobody comes to the Father but through me. He didn't say, hey, you come to me via a third party and I'll take you to God.
Right.
Just drop your quarters here, please.
Exactly. Exactly. Stand in line, take a number, and give me your money.
Yeah. You know, that's not what the Bible taught. And even Christianity embraces the cross, which was something that didn't even come into practice until 200 years after Christ's crucifixion. The original Christians didn't have anything to do with the cross. Other
Well, that's
than
because it's a
nailed
false
the
idol.
fucking thing.
That's mainly because it's a false idol, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, Freemasons, they worship the morning star, which they believe is the light, which is actually Lucifer, you know? And a lot of the stuff, I mean, you can even look in Catholic churches, you can look in Christian churches, you can look in a lot of different churches, and you're always seeing the all-seeing eye.
Yeah, you got the all-seeing eye.
You have the all-seeing eye on temples all around the world, just like they try to talk about the Egyptian pyramids. There's been pyramids that they've been finding all over the world.
Yeah,
How is it that many people can create pyramids?
That God is always watching you. But who is your God?
See, but that's not what it really is, though. There's always a light revolved around the all-seeing eye, which is the morning star, the shining light.
Well, the star of the morning, which is different from the morning star, is actually a Christian symbol that is referred to in the Bible to represent Jesus Christ. And the inverted symbol, where it's upside down, represents Luciferianism.
Mm-hmm.
I actually looked into that in a great deal because there's a lot of symbolism on a lot of the temples in Nauvoo. So I had to look into that for my book and get the facts on what these actually were.
What was that?
Yeah. Well, if you said that in the last transmission that we did, would you care to elaborate on that? Yeah, you obviously weren't alive in the 1930s and 1940s. You'd be an old-ass fucking man right now.
Obviously, this host was not alive, but there is a story. There's a grand autobiography on my Facebook page that actually starts off at the story of my boar and ends at 3/20 through 30 of 2008.
I see.
And it explains that
you were talking about reincarnation.
Basically, I'm talking that I am my spirit self, and I obtain different hosts throughout time, and this one host I have been in the longest. I've repeated this host's life at least 5 times, and this is the part where people start looking at me like I'm a crazy person and that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But then I sit back and tell you things, and I show you things, and then I say something before it actually happens, and then it happens so far afterwards. To me, it's not coincidence, because to me, it's constantly happened to me daily. And like I explained further up here, where is it? And then I saw it. And then I saw it is actually from the Looper movie.
Yeah.
Where the little boy runs into the field and sees his mom get killed, and then he's on the train ride and he becomes grown up and he becomes the dude who's killing everybody and sending everybody back in time and making sure that shit goes right. And then all of a sudden the dude who actually is the only person that can stop it kills himself whenever he's a younger instead of the older self. You remember the Bruce Willis movie Looper?
Yeah.
So on that whole basic aspect, between my friend who is on vacation in Florida until September 2nd, who has actually came back and has told me these things and has explained to me these things, and I basically looked at him and said, you're not joking, because I actually remember a few of these things as well.
I believe that thing to me on a personal level is based on personal revelation, and that's like God giving you foresight, or even be foresight, as I like to say, about your past lives or something of that.
Maybe he's allowing you to experience history so as to better prepare you for the future. It's not necessarily reincarnation or anything that you were suggesting. You know, it could be revelation, remind you of the past so as to prepare you for the present and the future.
To elaborate off of this, what I am trying to say is I sent myself back here to prevent my present, which is your future.
So you're a time traveler?
In a way, in a sense, yes, but not literally in the sense where I literally took my body from where I was and brought it back here. In a sense, time is immovable.
Basically, what you're saying is astral projection outside of the time stream.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. And okay, now people won't think that you're crazy, because now I can actually put this in perspective. And for anybody who wishes to actually embellish in this and find out more on it, look up a book called Ekankar. It's kind of a little off-the-wall book. It kind of centers around Wicca, but basically a lot of what it teaches is about connecting with God and spirituality and astral projection, which is more or less the ability to travel as a soul outside of your body.
Yeah, I'm going to go have a cigarette. I'll be right back.
And in many respects, in and out of various periods in time, you can project yourself or your soul into the future or into the past. And that is kind of their explanation as in regards to the belief in past lives and reincarnation, or revelation concerning future events. That it's not necessarily you're getting visions, but your soul is actually transcending time in order to see these events. That your soul is actually there witnessing these events. You're not being shown in a vision like you're seeing this on TV. You're actually, your spirit is actually there witnessing this shit firsthand as it happens. You're absolutely out that
your reality of that point of time.
This time, it is that the soul, like God, is infinite and can exist at any point in time.
That's fucking trippy. We were late. I know you guys are talking about past lives and visions, right? And you're seeing shit and whatnot.
We're actually talking about astral projection.
So projection.
Kurt Wolf was talking about some shit, and it sounded kind of off the wall at first, and I just I took what he said, and I figured out what he was trying to say, and I put it into its proper context so that people wouldn't think that he's just talking out his ass or he's a fucking loon. That these are actual real beliefs.
The present I came from is your future, is what he is elaborating on.
Yeah.
I experienced something sort of like that. I don't know, when I was in the tent. A lot of shit happened when I was in that tent. But I was
Did a wolf come in and fuck you in the ass?
No. I was experiencing something like I believed God honestly was talking to me through music, through YouTube, and I believed at the same time that Anonymous was sending me what I was supposed to see onto YouTube, everything I was supposed to see, because as I was clicking through these musics and doing everything, I'd see little messages like Reddit, and then under it said cure me. So then I'd post a video to Facebook that said be healed and stuff like that. But while that was happening, I literally was having conversation with the person like on the music video, and I was like, we were staring into each other's eyes. And one of the craziest things, it was a song by Atmosphere, but it was that Friday the 13th where I don't know what it was. I slept walk or whatever, but I ended up out in the woods, like 5 miles out of the town, and sorry, I gotta take a puff. And when I got back,
Give. Don't fuck up the rotation, man.
when I got back to my tent, I left my tent flap open, and it rained that night, so everything was inside my tent. There was water all over my iPad and whatnot, but it still worked. And I checked out the song by Atmosphere, and in the song it said literally that I came and checked out it came to see you, and I saw your tent, but it was just an empty flap, and it like literally said that what I was seeing. You know what I mean? And
That was creepy.
yeah, it's creepy as fuck. Is the whole time like these music things, and at one point I remember why I left that Friday was during the music video I heard escape, escape, escape. So I just fucking left, and you know, that's when I came back and I saw that music video. It's like I came and I tried to find you, but all I found was an empty tent, and it was fucked up, man.
Huh.
But that kind of sort of ties in, because after that, I was sitting down, and I believed there's literally a human soul in everything I saw. Like I was sitting down, I was talking to myself, I was reading my scriptures or whatever, I was reading books, and a bird would come down. I'd literally think that was another person in another time standing in front of me, and we're reading from each other. But no bird. You know what I mean? I'm like I'm an invisible person in the past or something. It's so hard to explain, but that experience really fucked me up.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to this world that we don't know and can't readily explain. As we've already discussed, even the New World Order is playing us against ourselves in the respect of getting us to act under the pretext of pushing this New World Order agenda.
Hence the reason between Republican, Democrat, Christian, non-Christian. It's all a system of control to pit us against each other so that they can fuck us in the asshole.
Yeah, well, not just that. But think about it this way. Maybe us waking up is part of their agenda.
That's
Maybe
what
they
I've
need
been
to
thinking
wake
as
up
well.
So that we rebel, so that they have the pretext to usher in martial law and do what it is they want to do. But if we don't wake up, they have no pretext.
Oh, that is something that I think about a lot, man, and it's exactly the thing before. We can't not play into their hands. Like whatever we do, we're probably doing something they want. That's just how intricate and complex this plan is of theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's some crazy fucking shit. You never really know. But like Drummer has said repeatedly, hold up.
Oh, here you go, guys.
Oh man.
Bigfoot has left the building.
Okay, here's the deal with that, guys. Anybody who's ever seen my ass like that, who knows me, knows that if I've mooned you and you've seen my ass, you are now family.
That's good to know, I guess. Yeah.
So welcome to it.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I saw someone's ass on one of the weekly news reports.
That was his. This was the first time, and honestly, I've done this live over the fucking internet at this point, which is even way worse than what he did.
Yeah.
Anybody can be watching right now.
Next step, I'm going to have sex on a live chat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have sex.
He's always got to try to outdo me.
With a human?
With a human! No, with a fucking toaster!
Well, that's what I'd expect from a tin man.
It's so warm!
You're fucking tin man fucking a toaster. That would actually make sense, but you fucking...
The funny thing is, last week when I got off work, they're like, when are you going to go? My supervisor was like,
what are you gonna do when you get home? I'm like, I'm gonna stick my dick in a toaster.
See, the problem with him fucking the toaster and you saying that it would make sense is the fact that we don't stick knives in the toaster because we know we'll get electrocuted. This guy will plug the motherfucker in, and if he's really made of tin, he's gonna get fucked up.
He'd probably just get high. That'd be his thing. Yeah.
Oh shit, we're going to hell. Anyway, I don't think we can carry on this conversation much further. You know, if anybody has any thoughts and opinions, we'll be coming back next month to do this all over again.
And if anybody wants to make videos and post it on YouTube or post it up, all you got to do is, of course, take the video. We'll put our intro in it. We'll edit it, and we'll throw it up on TWWRN. Whatever you guys want to say, whatever you guys want to do as far as resistance transmissions are concerned, and we'll throw it up.
Yeah, in fact, we'll make this an operation. Operation the People's Voice. Let's hear what the people have to say. You know, a lot of people say that they don't have a voice. Here's your opportunity. Come out and have your voice. Operation the People's Voice.
I missed the first part. Like, are we doing like personalized intros or whatever? Like.
No, it will be just the people finally being able to have their say.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm down.
For the voiceless to have a voice.
Yeah, I'm down to do that.
Or you can do your personal rants and raves as a resistance transmission, and it can be submitted on YouTube. As long as he has the account information, and we can download the video, we can edit it, we can put it up on TWWRN, and it will be promoted. Yeah. So if you guys wanted to do that, we will
share your shit on TWWRN, no problem. We have our set hosts, so we're trying not to take on too much, especially considering we just got the internet back on, so we're still catching up on everything.
Send me spiritual shit, man. If anyone has spiritual questions, shit like that kind of area, send me. I'll be glad to talk about that kind of shit.
Oh, you and me both, man.
Cool. Yeah. I know Joseph has a lot of insight, and I generally, when me and Tin Man aren't debating, me and Joseph are debating. I talk to him very often as far as politics and shit are concerned, and a lot of my ideals and a lot of my views and opinions when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I agree with a lot of what Joseph says, and he has valid views and opinions, and a lot of what he says is some real shit. So I actually really listen to what he has to say, and I take it to heart. And so if anybody has political views and opinions that they need put out there, or questions about shit, if I can't answer it and Tin Man can't answer it, I know that Joseph can. So
awesome, Joseph, man, you're an intelligent guy. I'd love to have you on Facebook. Enoch the drummer, add me if you want. We can talk more. Cursed, looking forward to talking to you more. I think we're gonna do a phone conversation, put that shit up on TWRN, because me and you, I think we can get crazy.
And see, here's the thing with you, drummer, and Wolf and Connor. If you three can get together and do something similar to what we're doing here with the live broadcast with the Google Hangout, I'd like to hear some shit on Canada too. I mean, you guys kind of know what's going on up there.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to discuss here real quick. You mentioned in the last broadcast that we generally focus on the United States. We're not the United States Resistance Network. We are the Worldwide Resistance Network. So I want to make sure Canada's covered. New Mexico's, or not New Mexico, but Mexico's covered. The European continent is covered. The African continent is covered. I want to make sure that if there's anything relevant going on in the world, that we know about it and can get it out to the people.
You know what? That's wonderful you said that, because I have a guy that I met. He's really interested in this shit. Great views, and maybe I get him. We could do a little news pilot thing, send it over to you guys, see what you think. Maybe.
Good. Perfect. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. Get it. I'll keep it like 10 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's no limit or minimum to how long your resistance transmissions have to be either. Yeah. Joseph, if you want to pop on camera with your phone one time and just be like, I fucking hate people in Vegas, and you want that put on fucking on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? We could do that for you, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, of course, you got to have some relevance to what you're saying. I mean, like, there's no limit or minimum to how long your transmissions have to be. We generally, for a guideline, we do an hour for weekly report, and we do about 2 hours for roundtable discussions. So, which is what we're going to continue to call these live broadcasts on Google Hangout, is roundtable discussions. So,
I love it.
so we're gonna keep that going, and then resistance transmissions can go anywhere from 1 second to, you know, infinity, as long as you guys want them. I mean, as long you got to understand, the longer the video, the less likely somebody is to watch it too. So
exactly.
Like the weekly report, that's kind of our weekly radio show, only we're on camera.
Right. We do it. We don't really record live, only because, as you can see, audio, video issues, stuff like that. So if we pre-record it, we don't have people cock-blocking us. We can post it and edit it before we actually put it on YouTube, so on and so forth. So it's a more structured format. If we have a fuck-up during the thing, it doesn't make us look like dickheads, you know. We're able to edit out shit and put in shit we want. We put in commercials. Even if you guys want to put a commercial for whatever you guys want, we could set it in the center of our weekly reports to promote your YouTube channel as well. As you see in our weekly reports, we do that for Ring Scoops, we do that for King Cole, you know, we got Mr. Giggles as the halftime segment, so on and so forth. So if you guys have anything relevant to say, or you guys want something put in there to help promote your shit, you know, we could definitely use some new material for the center portion and the halftime portion of our weekly report.
But it'll be on you guys to make your own commercials.
Yeah, and then send it to us, and then, you know, we'll edit it down in post and put it in the center.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's easy shit. Because when we shoot these videos, especially like the weekly reports, it takes a good hour to 2 hours to edit it, and then it takes another 5 hours to export the file before I can even upload it to YouTube. That's why the weekly report didn't get up till about midnight or so last night, because we shot it yesterday afternoon, got it edited about 8 o'clock, and then exported it, and by the time it was done exporting, it was fucking midnight.
So we have those issues as far as time is concerned. You know, it's kind of a crunch thing on Fridays. We try to get it done as early as possible, but right now life is happening to me. I got a pregnant wife. I got, you know, a kid to chase around and tend to. As you know, I've been on and off camera this entire segment, taking care of him and filling his bottle up. I had to change his sheets right now because he fell asleep and wet his bed. So I had to deal with that. You know, so I mean, right now life is really happening to me, and I got a lot of things I got to take care of. So we try to do it in a timely manner, but sometimes it doesn't get done. But like we said, if you guys have anything you want to add, any kind of resistance transmissions you guys want to put on, you know, any relevant topics you guys want to discuss, if you want to just rant and rave, go ahead, upload them to YouTube. Let us know where the shit's at, and you know, we'll get it edited and we'll get it shared and we'll promote it for you guys. That's pretty much what TWWRN does. Aside from our own internal shit, we do stuff like this too. So you know, keep that in mind too. If you guys like, even if it's just one video every 2 years, if you guys, I mean, as far as we're concerned, we're going to be doing this for a while. You know what I mean? So just do it as often as you guys like. Don't do it at all if you guys don't want to do it.
I'll be doing it till Judgment Day.
So
even then, I won't shut up.
So you know, let's keep in touch, guys. Let's really start this off, this new segment off strong, and you know, until then, I mean, we're pretty much done here.
Until next time, I think we're pretty well good to go. So
we're gonna end it here, guys. Until next time, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Peace, guys.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Right.